Hello and welcome to Wednesday's Briefing, your bite-sized webinar briefing, a collaboration between Action Together, the voluntary community and faith sector and the public sector. It's my pleasure to welcome you to this episode of our cost of living crisis. Action Together are working with Oldham Council to welcome you every Wednesday between now and April to hear from the services and organisations that are working alongside you in Oldham, delivering critical help to support Oldham residents through the cost of living crisis. So without further ado, I'm really pleased to hand you over to Karen from SAWN, who will be taking us from here. Over to you, Karen.
Good morning, everybody. Good morning. My name's Karen Saville, and I'm part of the small team at Support and Action Women's Network based in Chadderton, Oldham. And this is Dada, and I'm also part of the SAWN team here in Chadderton, Oldham. Thank you. So this is who we are. So who are we really? We're actually a small charity, as I said, based in Chadderton, and we're part of the Mama Health and Poverty Partnership, which is a collective of 10 Black women's organisations based in Greater Manchester. They all have different specialisms, but they all ensure that women receive the right support in the right way at the right time in a culturally appropriate manner, and we can cross-refer to each other. So together we are stronger. Okay. So this is just a little snapshot of who we are really. This is the real women. And all women are known as SAWNetters, and each and every woman and more can become a SAWNetter and be part of SAWN at any moment, at any time, from any community. We welcome all women. Thank you. So where did we actually come from and why? SAWN was founded in 2007 by Rose Sarlett, who is the Chief Exec of SAWN and the lead partner for the Mama Health and Poverty Partnership. And it was based on her personal and Black African women's experiences, the challenges they faced when they came to the UK and friendship that was built. Challenges included immigration, challenges included language barriers, cultural issues, and the perception that they had of coming to the UK that was the land of milk and honey, because this wasn't real when they actually arrived and what they found. So SAWN was given birth to by Rose Sarlett and her colleagues and her friends. SAWN is women-led and remains rooted in the community of Oldham based in Chadderton. It's a grassroots organisation and it provides opportunities that empower and challenge Black African women to be the best that they can actually be in a somewhat difficult world. It's a small charity with a big heart and it's not a commissioned service. So how do we do this? And when we sat down and thought, how do we do it? We looked at all the projects that we actually did. And sometimes it can be a little bit scary when you actually realise what you do. I'm going to talk about some of these. The Furniture Hub, because that is the one that supports the furniture offer. We actually collect, sort out, deliver and provide furniture, both second-hand, used, recycled, upcycled to people in need at low cost and no cost. We also have Sarati, which is a gathering of women on a Tuesday morning, 11 till 1, in our SAWN space. And it's a peer support education network and forum where women can come together, talk about issues that affect and challenge them in their life confidentially, and together they can come up with solutions and ways to manage. Peer support is evident in all the projects we do, and this is demonstrated in the birth of Agatha's Space, a safe space for women living with HIV, the cancer support group for women who've been affected by cancer, either themselves or their family members. The choir, Sisters of the Am Choir, has grown from Sarati. We also have a growing space in partnership with Northern Lily Grow, grassroots Oldham Women's Enterprise, where women can not only grow themselves, upskilling and learning new things, they can actually grow food to assist with the shortage of food that many people face. We have health and social work student placements because we want the professionals of the future to understand the issues that Black African women face daily. We're part of System Changes, Local Motion. We're an active partner in Women's Network within Oldham. And Rose Sally sits on many networks and advisory groups and panels throughout Greater Manchester to ensure the Black voice of women is heard and acted upon. Many women come to us, and domestic violence is something that flows through all the projects that we provide and support. And we now have a mental health project, relatively new, with the health service. And that is the Astawa project, where women can receive counselling that is culturally appropriate and meets their needs. So this is a snapshot of the passion that SAWN has for the climate change that we do. And we want to create a better world for everybody in all aspects. So to that end, we partnered with WEN, and we actually went to COP26, and we actually showcased some of the work that we do around climate change. And this links with the Grow project at Failsworth, where we're now growing food to actually improve the difficulty people face in having enough to eat. So the cost of living crisis, we know people were already living in crisis from systemic failure because they tell us. The aftermath of COVID and the cost of living crisis on top, they just made what was a crisis an even bigger crisis. People tell us that they live in plain sight and they're under the radar. We all know they're there. We see them on a daily basis, and I'm sure everybody else on here does too. They're isolated, they're disconnected, they have a voice, but it's never heard. Limited access and no access to support, no recourse to public funds, no identity, language barriers. The impact of all these no's is huge. And when you wonder why this is, when you think about people living their life, when we think about life in general, achieving our own full potential in being happy, being safe, having food at the top of Maslow's hierarchy of need. Many of the people, it's a hard fact, but we must be honest and we must acknowledge this. They're not even having the physiological needs met. Many people are living in food poverty. They're living in fuel poverty if they have a house. Many people don't have a house. So my question to us all that we should all be thinking about is, how do we encourage people to be hopeful, to have aspirations for the future when they haven't got enough food or heating or a bed to sleep in for their children? That becomes your priority. So that is where the people who come into SAWN are. That is what the cost of living crisis is doing to people who are already in crisis. It's deepening their personal crisis. So the household fund and SAWN. We reach out to all communities in Oldham. The Furniture Hub sources furniture. People ask us, do we want this? We check it, we collect it, we clean it, we display it, we source it, and we deliver it to its new home. And we do that with passion, because people deserve, just because we're struggling, and all of us can struggle at certain times in our life, doesn't mean that we can't have dignity and we can't have choice. So people are offered a shopping experience in the Furniture Hub. During the COVID crisis, we actually did this online. We tried to match sofas, beds with matching bed linen so that people felt they were having the shopping experience that respected them as human beings. The Household Fund previously supported the paying of utility bills, culturally appropriate food, clothing, fuel, all of which prevented deeper crisis for the person. And equally as important, less pressure on statutory services, because if we're helping the people at the moment of crisis in a way that they need, then they don't actually accelerate statutory services. We connect with other local groups to provide the best household fund offer to people in a timely, effective way. We're an active participant in the household fund group, support group. So we're working together. One of the great partnerships that's been really beneficial to us and to the community of Oldham has been Great Places. SAWN, as I said, is a small charity, and we had a very, very old van that limped along, and we used to pray every day that it would get through another day, and most days it did, but more and more days it didn't. So we became unreliable, we couldn't deliver, we couldn't collect, and the impact not only on SAWN but the community was massive. Great Places, we developed a relationship and they heard our need and they supported us to get a new van, which is beautiful. It's got our name on, it's reliable, and it does the job. Thanks, Great Places. We really do appreciate it. So our offer and referrals, how do people do this? Do you want to talk about this, Dada?
Yeah, so we're part of OCAN. Referrals can be sent through OCAN, and we'll reach them as quick as we can and effectively as we can. On our website, we also have a SAWN referral form, so people can fill in that referral form and send that through and get people to be supported. But a lot of the times we meet people just in passing or through word of mouth. So from people that come to join the women's group or have been supported previously, they will refer another friend, or, you know, just through word of mouth, people will hear about us and literally come in, walk in, even if for a cry or a cup of tea, or just to be seen or just to be heard. So that's really powerful. Word of mouth, word of experience, and the referral system that gets through in the line. So
yeah. And on a strategic level, providing an effective timely response and use of resource is beneficial to everybody, particularly for those people experiencing DV, needing to relocate. You know, we're part of the MARAC system, we work with early help, we've worked with safeguarding, and what we can do, we can actually offer a full house of furniture to people who are being resettled both in and around the borough. Okay, so that's from a strategic position. From a person's position, being very human, it's actually a lifetime. It's a lifeline being offered, something the right way, the right time, preventing deeper crisis when you feel that there's nothing left to go. Somebody actually told us, which is very, very sad, that SAWN picks up the rubbish that nobody wants. Now, that creates a deep sadness within everybody at SAWN, because nobody is rubbish and should ever be made to feel like that, because together we are stronger, and that includes every woman that comes into SAWN. One of the things we have done, we've worked with the writer David Moorhead, a playwright. He actually invited us to see his play, and we took the women, many of them, for the first theatre experience. And what he has since done is partnered with SAWN and led creative writing courses. So the women are actually composing and celebrating their story and culture. And this is really important for the women, because not only does it gather their life story and their history, which they can pass on to their children, it actually provides healing for what they've been through, many of them, which were very, very difficult experiences. So we're gratefully appreciative of that too, an opportunity for the women to learn literacy skills, to share their experiences, the good, the bad and the ugly, which then helps them to heal.
So that's a beautiful story.
So real outcomes and real facts. The bigger picture, on a personal level, it's the first step for many people of having hope, accessing new projects and meeting new friends. The furniture is the byproduct. Yeah. So people being listened to, whether it's about furniture, whether it's about food, or whether it's about the weekend they've had, people don't feel alone, disconnected and isolated. So eventually their emotional well-being improves. People do become more confident and resilient and motivated, and believe there are next steps that they can aspire to. And the volunteering, trade and employment opportunities that are around at SAWN, be it in the Furniture Hub or other projects, or through providing quality peer support based on their own real life experiences, is worth everything, not only to the people but to the community. Social value outcomes. We are more connected in the community. We're well known in Chadderton and Oldham. We do build resilience as an organisation and as people through partnership working. People are creating little enterprises from what they know. We're looking at growing food and making social enterprises within Grow. Women are deciding what they want to do. They're thinking, they're planning, they're hoping. And no amount of money can give them that. That needs to come from themselves and from the support they've got. The carbon footprint through the volunteering, the furniture, the recycling, upcycling, redistribution has got to be improved. And that is what we aspire to do. And the big thing is women are actually on the agenda. SAWN are uniquely placed to increase the number and value of contributions women of African descent make. And this cannot be underestimated, the value of this. Because we are the community. You know, look round, we are community. We create community through belonging, through seeing, through growing our own, nurturing our own women. We provide advice and information with women as equal partners. They provide information and advice to us also. We settle in new communities, meeting crisis at crisis point, not when we've gone through a system that said no and waited 3 weeks for, you know, referrals. And that is not a criticism, that is just a fact of how systems work. We collaborate, we connect, we converse, and we're really good at chatting. We're really, really good at chatting. We'll listen and chat to anybody, don't we, Dada? Yeah. And we create strong partnerships. And what we are doing, we're preventing deeper crisis in partnership with the council through distributing the household fund effectively and efficiently to those most in need, ensuring we do meet due diligence and we do know where the money's going, but we do it in a timely, responsible way because we are SAWN. A woman with the right support. Now, this is the woman, as we all are.
So that picture speaks 1,000 words. Not only is it depicting one of the projects that we're doing as part of Women of Water with Canal River Trust and Northern Lily, but it also shows the essence of what we were doing at SAWN. Being able to step on the water, you have to be well equipped and you have to be in the right vessel. Oftentimes that vessel is actually ourselves. But it's broken and it's got holes in it and it's not stable on the journey. So at SAWN, it's almost a place where it stabilizes that vessel and equips us, the person as well, with the right equipment to embark on the journey and be stable on water, to flow nice and smoothly and go through your journey with the right support, with the right equipment, with the right network, with the right love and warmth that basically encompasses the person and allows them to flourish and do great and explore themselves. A lot of the women have so much within them, but it's kind of held within and it's kind of covered by a lot of rubble, a lot of stones, like we talk about in Sarati, a lot of stones, a lot of things that have kind of covered the essence of that person. SAWN kind of brings that person out by highlighting the things that make them stand out, but also fueling them with more knowledge, empowerment, confidence, support, love. And sometimes that's all the person really needs, is to be heard and to kind of be really seen for what they are so they can bring out the best in them and flourish on the journey and flow on the water like this girl there. But yeah, thank you.
Thank you. So, and in the end, only kindness matters because we are all simply human. We are all only one step away from crisis. So what SAWN are asking people is be kind, be human, be effective, and be part of the SAWN community because we are here and we are here for everyone. Thank you for listening.
Thank you so much. Any questions?